On today's episode of Chicago Bears Now, I am going to tell you what Caleb Williams needs to do to prove he was worthy of being the number one overall pick and to not trade down for the haul like many people wanted to happen. I think a lot of people have slowed down on that since the trading of Justin Fields and now that Caleb Williams has been drafted. But this segment inspired by Jealousy, who was our Super Chat MVP a couple of weeks ago. This was his request for being the MVP of doing this segment. He said, how good does Caleb have to be? We could have gotten a haul to trade down. So the approach I'm going to take here is a two-pronged one. I will outline what Caleb Williams needs to do both in the short and in the long term to prove that the Bears made the right call. Regardless of Justin Fields, they still could have traded down for the haul, which is what Jealousy asked to know what he needs to do to prove they shouldn't have done that. I will kind of outline what I believe that needs to look like. But if you're fired up, if you're excited coming off the NFL draft for Caleb Williams to finally be a Chicago Bear, you got to hit that like button. I mean, show the energy. I'd love to set a record in terms of likes on today's show. I think it's like 3,600 or something like that. Prove the Bears right. Hit that like button for Caleb Williams. All right, let's start with short term, and I'm kind of focus it on rookie year expectations. How good should Caleb Williams be as a rookie? Obviously, the expectations are very high. Is it rookie of the year or bust? Feels a little strong. There's going to be other guys in this draft that obviously will have a chance. Jaden Daniels, maybe even his own teammate, Rome Odunze, Marvin Harrison Jr., who knows? I will say this. He has arguably, if not obviously, one of, if not the best supporting cast of any number one pick ever. This is why I felt so comfortable going in this direction, because this was not Bryce Young walking into Carolina in just a disastrous situation. And look, is he going to be a superstar instantly? Do we think that is what he needs to be? He's obviously a superstar in terms of the attention he's getting, but is he going to be that special right away? Here's my baseline for year one expectations. I want him to be a top half of the NFL starter. Now, hopefully he's more than that, but if he's a top 16 guy, I think as a rookie, based on what we've had in previous years and really just throughout the history of the Bears, and yes, like Ryan Poles said, it's time to move on for the Bears' history. We're here now, but he is still going to be a rookie quarterback. If you took the average quarterback in the NFL last year, this was 16th ranked in all of these five categories. Completion percentage, it was 64.7%. Passing yards, 3,624. Touchdowns, 21. Interceptions, 10. QBR, 56.5, which is a little above average, which I think top half of the league is fair. And then QB passer rating, 92.2. Would we not be happy with those numbers out of a rookie quarterback? That would be the best season a Bears quarterback has had in a very long time. That would be better than Trubisky's 2018 season. That would be better than a lot of Jay Cutler's seasons. That'd probably be a top 4 or 5 season in Bears QB history. Like 3,700 yards almost, 65-ish complete percentage, better than a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. I would sign up for that. I think he could do more, but if that's the type of output we got, I think I would be pretty satisfied. Now, you look at some of the best rookie years ever. I just kind of did some recent history, and a lot of them are in the last 10 or 15 years because teams just throw more and the numbers go up, etc. I still think that Justin Herbert season from a statistical standpoint was the best. Over 4,300 yards, 31 touchdowns, 10 picks. If he did something like that, that would be crazy. C.J. Stroud, 23 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Andrew Luck, 23-18, but he has the rookie record in yardage. Cam Newton's rookie year was one of the best of his career, believe it or not. Dak Prescott, very efficient rookie year. Robert Griffin III, he also rushed for a lot as well. Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield, Ben Roethlisberger. Caleb Williams, when we reset this list, some of the best rookie seasons ever, he should be on there. There's no reason why he can't be in the top 10, if not the top 5, when it's all said and done. Now, is he going to do what C.J. Stroud did last year? That's a pretty tall mountain. That's a top probably 2 or 3 rookie season ever, but 5 or 6, can he have a Dak Prescott type of rookie season? I don't see why that is not at least a reasonable thought to have. Predict Caleb Williams rookie year stats. I want to hear it from you guys down in the comments right now. You could just do touchdowns and interceptions. You could do yards. You could do the full stat line if you want. I'll take a deeper dive on what I think he's going to do specifically. But again, looking at those averages from earlier, if he did somewhere in that ballpark, I think I'd be pretty satisfied. If you want to get yourself a Caleb Williams Bears jersey, go do so now. Chatsports.com/Caleb. You got navy and white available. The orange are currently unavailable for pre-order. I think those flew off the shelves pretty early here, but the whites and navies can still be ordered right now. Chatsports.com/Caleb. Link in the comments and in the description to get started in purchasing that today. Okay, short-term to long-term. What should the long-term outlook look like for Caleb Williams? How good should he be as the Bears franchise QB? I think number one, he needs to consistently be a perennial top 10 quarterback in this league, which, based on the Bears' history, that is a high expectation. But based on what's around him to start his career and get him off and running, and based on the talent he has, I don't think that is too massive of an ask. Be a top 10 guy year in and year out. I think that is a reasonable expectation to have long term. Number two, make giving him a second contract an easy decision. Like, what does that mean? Well, 3 or 4 years into his rookie contract, when he's extension eligible, it should be easy. Yeah, we're giving you a contract. Now, obviously, there's going to be negotiations in terms of what that number is, et cetera. But, you don't want to be maybe where the Dolphins are right now, where they like Tua, but do they want to extend him? I'm not sure. Tua's put up some big numbers, but I'm hoping Caleb Williams is better than Tua. That should be a measuring stick here for long term. Like, hey, we really like what you've done early on. We're giving you that second contract without any hesitation whatsoever. Number three, the Bears need to be a consistent playoff team. Now, in terms of when that starts, I think by 2025 at minimum, this team needs to start being a playoff team. I have playoff expectations this year, but in terms of long-term of his career, let's say he plays here 12 years, got to be a playoff team 9 times. Be in the postseason mix year in and year out, and at least have a shot to make the playoffs and hopefully start making some playoff runs. That's what you need to justify this being the right decision. Okay, hit that subscribe button. Help us reach 93,000 subscribers. Make sure you're joining the movement for free coverage on the daily. We're less than 750 subs away from 93,000. We appreciate your support. Go ahead and join the channel by subscribing. This might be a lofty one, but I think you need to at least reach a Super Bowl. Now, that's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight. That's why this is the long-term outlook. But I think that is a lofty expectation, but it's one I'm going to have. I'm not going to sit here and say if he doesn't win a Super Bowl, it's an absolute failure. But if you told me right now, do I think Caleb Williams will make a Super Bowl, at least make a Super Bowl with the Bears? I think he will, because I think the infrastructure's in place. I think this GM's done a great job. I still have question marks about the coaching staff led by Matty Eberflus a little bit, and maybe at some point that has to change with Caleb Williams. They may have to go in a new direction there, but make a Super Bowl. And look, I have higher hopes and goals, but if that happens, if this ends with him being a perennial top 10 guy and he got you to a Super Bowl, that has to be considered a success. And then lastly, this is lofty too, but it's not that lofty considering the history. He should be the best QB in franchise history. And if the top 4 things happen, if he's perennial top 10 in the league, if you give him that second contract without hesitation, which means he's here for at least a decade, if this is a consistent playoff team, and if he reaches a Super Bowl, that he will be the best QB in franchise history, because some of those bullet points have been jotted down with prior quarterbacks here, but not all of them. So if you hit all of those, he will be the best franchise quarterback in the history of the Chicago Bears. Those are my long-term expectations. I think they're high, but I don't think they're unreasonable. And I think they're reachable. I could sit here and say he has to win a Super Bowl. He has to win the NFC North by year 2. I could do all this stuff, but I think everything I said is reasonable. I think it's reachable. And quite frankly, I'd be a little disappointed if he did not reach some, if not all of these benchmarks. So be honest. What do you think? Will Caleb Williams win a Super Bowl with the Chicago Bears? Type Y for yes. Type in for no. I'll say this. The division's tough, but the conference right now is a lot more manageable than the AFC. Opportunity is certainly there. All right, appreciate you for tuning in to Chicago Bears Now. My name is Harrison Graham. Give me a follow on Instagram for more Bears content at HGrahamNFL. See you next time.